Hello, students. Today we are going to read the poem The Ant and the Cricket. This is the first poem of our English book. What is a fable? A fable is a story often with animals as characters that conveys a moral. So, fable is a very short story, and mostly the characters are animals and they convey a lesson, they convey a moral. Now, this is also a poem about two creatures, the ant and the cricket. And through these two creatures, the ant and the cricket, the poet is trying to give us a lesson about the two types of characters in the society and what we need to learn from them. A silly young cricket accustomed to sing through the warm sunny months of gay summer and spring began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come. Not a crumb to be found on the snow covered ground. Not a flower could he see, not a leaf on a tree. Oh, what will become, says the cricket, of me? At last, by starvation and famine made bold, all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold, away he set off to a miserly ant to see if, to keep him alive, he would grant him shelter from rain and a mouthful of grain. He wished only to borrow, he'd repay it tomorrow. If not, he must die of starvation and sorrow. Says the ant to the cricket, I am your servant and friend, but we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay nothing by when the weather was warm? Quoth the cricket, not I. My heart was so light that I sang day and night, for all nature looked gay. You sang, sir, you say. Go then, says the ant, and dance the winter away. Thus, ending, he hastily lifted the wicket, and out of the door turned the poor little cricket. Folks call this a fable. I'll warrant it true. Some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2. So, children, we are going to read about this poem, The Ant and the Cricket, which is adapted from Aesop's Fables. And Aesop's Fables are the fables who tell us which gives us some lesson, and we need to learn the lesson, the moral behind that poem or the story. So, a silly young cricket accustomed to sing. Now, the poet is talking about a cricket, and this cricket is silly. Why he is calling silly? Because he did not think about himself. Accustomed to sing. Accustomed means habitual. So, this cricket was habitual of singing through the warm sunny months of gay summer and spring. During summers and spring season, they are the months of happiness. So, sunny months of gay summer and spring. So, gay means happy. So, this cricket, he was in the habit of singing. Accustomed means habitual, in the habit of. So, this cricket was habitual of singing when in the sunny and warm months of happy summers and spring season. Began to complain when he found that at home. Now, this silly cricket began to complain when? When he started complaining? When he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come. So, he started complaining when he saw that there is nothing in his cupboard to eat. When? During winter season. And winter was come. The winter had appeared and there was nothing in his cupboard, no food to eat, and not a crumb to be found on the snow covered ground. Not a crumb to be found. There was no crumb to be found on the snow covered ground. You cannot see anything because during winter season the ground was covered with snow. So there was no food to eat for the cricket, and his house was also empty, his cupboards were also empty, and it was winter season, so he was shivering with cold. He did not have anything to eat because the ground was also covered with snow, and in his cupboard also there was nothing to eat. Not a flower could he see, not a leaf on a tree. He could not see any flower or a leaf on the trees which he could eat. Oh, what will become, says the cricket, of me? Now the cricket is saying, God knows what will become of me. If I will not get food to eat, I will die of hunger. And there is nothing left. There is nothing in my cupboard, in my house, and outside also everything is covered with snow. So what can I do now? How I will survive without food? At last, by starvation and famine made bold. At last, by starvation. Now he was starving. What do you mean by starvation? Starvation is a condition when you are desperately suffering due to hunger and famine, lack of food, shortage of food. So at last, by starvation and famine made bold. Now, due to hunger and due to lack of food, he became bold, all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold. And due to winters and due to rain, he was dripping with wet. He was dripping with wet means his body was completely wet and water droplets were dropping from his body. And on trembling with cold, he was trembling with cold. He was shaking, he was shivering due to excessive cold. Now in cold what happens? We also shiver. So shivering, shaking, that is called trembling. Away he set off to a miserly ant. And away he set off to a miserly ant. Now here ant is told to be miserly. Why miserly? Because ants do not spend lavishly. They are very, very particular regarding expenditures. They have certain rules and regulations and they are very strict towards their rules and regulations. Away he set off to a miserly ant to see if, to keep him alive, he would grant. Now, he set off to the miserly ant. Now, he could not understand. Now, when we are in a problem, what do? We try to seek help. When we feel helpless, we try to seek help from others. So, he also went to ant to see if, to keep him alive, he would grant. And after going to ant, he said that, let me see, to keep myself alive, I have to ask help from ant. And so he went to the ant and he asked the ant, he would grant him shelter from rain and a mouthful of grain. He requested the ant, please give me some shelter from rain. I'm dripping, okay, I'm dripping, I'm wet and I'm shivering from cold. So can you please give me shelter in your house, in your home, and a mouthful of grain. And not much, a mouthful so that I can keep myself alive. I just want a shelter in your house and a mouthful of grain so that I can keep myself alive. He wished only to borrow, he'd repay it tomorrow. He said, I am not asking you to give me forever, I am just asking you to lend me. I just want to borrow and tomorrow I will repay it. So he wished only to borrow, he'd repay it tomorrow. If not, he must die of starvation and sorrow. He said that if you will not help me, I may die of starvation and sorrow. I will die of starvation and sorrow without food and due to sadness. I will die. Now, says the ant to the cricket. Now, it was a conversation. This whole poem is a conversation between the ant and the cricket. So, till now we have read what the cricket was suffering and how he went to the ant to ask for help. He wanted a shelter in his home and he wanted a shelter in his house and he wanted a mouthful of grains to keep himself alive. So, he went and he asked the ant. Now, the ant is replying. Says the ant to the cricket, I am your servant and friend, but we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay nothing by when the weather was warm? Quoth the cricket, not I. Now, it was time for the ant to answer, so he said, fine, cricket, I am your servant and friend. Now, servant, what do you mean by servant? Servant is a person who serves you. Okay, so the ant said, see cricket, I don't mind, I am like you, I am your friend and I would love to serve you. But we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. But we ants have a principle. What is the principle? That we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. We have a principle that we never borrow anything and neither we lend anything. Okay, we just earn and we keep it, we save for our future. Neither we go and take help from anyone, nor we give help to anyone. So that is our principle. Okay, we ants have a principle that we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay nothing by when the weather was warm? Quoth the cricket, not I. So Ant said, but one thing we want to know, cricket dear, that did you lay nothing by? Did you lay nothing by? Lay nothing by means didn't you save anything? The ants asked the cricket that it was summers and the complete ground and everything was full of food and grains. So you did not save anything for your future? But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay nothing by when the weather was warm? During summers, when everything was fine, when everything was good and in a happy mood, and everything, the ground was full of food. So at that time, you did not lay, you did not save something for future. Quoth the cricket. Quoth means said. The cricket said, not I. He said, no, I did not save anything. And then he said, the cricket said, my heart was so light that I sang day and night, for all nature looked gay. You sang, sir, you say. Go then, says the ant, and dance the winter away. Now, the cricket said that my heart was so light that I sang day and night. My heart was so light means I was in such a happy mood that I was singing whole day and whole night. Now summers when everything, my tummy was full because the ground was full of food, so I used to eat healthy and I used to sing whole day and whole night because my heart was so light. My heart was so light means I was in such a happy mood. For all nature looked gay. Now what is gay? Gay means again happy. Gay means happy. So these lines are telling about the happy mood of the cricket. That I sang day and night, for all nature looked gay. You sang, sir, you say. Question mark is there. That means the ant asked the question, sir, you are saying that you sang during summers. Go then, says the ant, and dance the winter away. So the ant says, fine. If you enjoyed your summer dancing, singing songs, now go and dance the winter away. Now you enjoy these winters by dancing. Now here, what do you mean by dance? Dance means shiver. Now winters, what happens? We shiver due to cold. So now ant in a sarcastic manner she told that you are saying that during summers you were singing. So now if you like singing, now it's time to dance. So now go and dance the winter away. That means pass the winter by dancing. You sang, sir, you say, go then and dance the winter away. So he said, the ant said, then fine, no problem. You were in a happy mood during summers and you enjoyed singing. So go and dance the winter away. What is the harm in that? You can dance the winter away. You can pass your winters by dancing. Thus ending, he hastily lifted the wicket. Now the ant was too smart, okay, because they have a principle, they neither borrow nor they lend. So the thus ending, so and the ending means putting an end to the conversation. He refers to the ant. The ant hastily, fast, quickly lifted the wicket. Now here wicket is used to rhyme with cricket. Actually wicket means stick. So showing the anger and showing the refusal of the ant, and so the ant lifted the wicket means it lifted the stick, and out of the door turned the poor little cricket, and it just showed the way towards the door, that get out of my door, please don't expect anything from us. If you don't have that much sense that you should be saving for your summers, then it's of no use telling you anything. Now you have to suffer. And out of the door turned the poor little cricket. Folks call this a fable. Now, these two lines are very important. Last two lines, concluding lines of this fable. Folks call this a fable. Now, who are folks? Folks are people. Folks call this a fable. People call this a short story. I'll warrant it true. I am also supporting them. I am in favor of those people who call this small poem a fable. And I say that yes, they are saying true. This is actually a fable. Some crickets have four legs and some have two. Some crickets, okay, the actual cricket, that insect, they have four legs. But some cricket have only two legs. Now, who are these crickets with two legs? These cricket with two legs are referred to the people who are like crickets, who are very lazy, who do not like saving for their future. They are not worried about their future. They are just living in their present, and without taking care about their future, they just spend life happily. They like to enjoy, and don't like to save anything for future. They are not thinking about their future. So here in the last line, the poet is telling that some crickets have four legs. Some crickets have four legs means the actual crickets, okay? Actual crickets, those insects who have four legs, and some have only two legs. Whereas some crickets have only two legs. They have only two legs. That means they are not actually crickets. They are human beings. They are people. They are men who are lazy, who like to spend time entertaining themselves, who are not meticulous, who are not thinking about their future, who are not saving for their future. So, here in the last line, the poet is trying to write about those people who are not thinking and who are just spending their time and wasting their time enjoying their life. So, in this poem, the poet is actually talking about two different types of people in the society. Some people are like the ants, very hardworking, thinking about their future. They don't waste time. They have their own principles and rules and regulations, and they enjoy their life. How they enjoy their life? In the way they, by working hard and by saving for their future. They don't waste money. They don't spend money on waste things. So some people are like ants and some people are like crickets. So the society is full of different types of people. Some are like ants and some are like crickets. Some people, those who are like crickets, they like wasting time, they like wasting resources, and they don't think about saving anything for their future. Now, when they don't spend anything for their, when they don't save anything for their future, naturally they have to face problems. And now, when they have to face problems, they try to seek help from others. They go to other people for help. And naturally, during the time of crisis, everyone is in need. So, no one is ready to help. Everyone is thinking about themselves. So, they don't actually help, and then they suffer a lot. So people like crickets, they suffer a lot after means in the future. Present they enjoy, but in future they suffer. Now coming to the rhyming scheme of this poem. A silly young cricket accustomed to sing through the warm sunny months of gay summer and spring began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and the winter was come. Now sing A, spring again A. So A, home B, come B. So A, B, B. Found and ground C, C. C and tree and me. So A, B, B, C, C, D, D, D. So what is the rhyme scheme of this first stanza? A, B, B, C, C, D, D, D. Same. At last by starvation and famine made bold. Now again if we see A, B, B, C, C, D D D. So A A B B C C D D D is the rhyme scheme of this poem. Now here friend and lend A A, then by and I B B, light and night C C, and gay say and away D D D. So A A B B C C D D D. And then last wicket and cricket A A, true and two B B. So that the rhyme scheme, this way we will take out the rhyme scheme of the poem. Now how to take out, you have understood, the last word of every line and the sound, the rhyme scheme. We take out the rhyme scheme by the last word of the sound. Sing spring A, come home B B, found ground C C, C tree me D D D. So by the last word of the by the sound of the last word of every line, we take out the rhyme scheme. So what lesson we learn from this poem? That we should be industrious, we should be hardworking like the ant, and we should not be careless like the cricket. We should always think about our future. Whatever resources we have just now, we should use it judiciously, thinking and taking care about our future, and not to waste our resources, because just now if we will waste, in future we will suffer. Linking it with the present environment, if we are going to waste water, if we are going to waste electricity now, we will be suffering in our future because we are not saving it. So if we are not saving, what will happen? In future we will not get it. There will be shortage of resources, and probably we and our next generations will suffer because the resources will be over. And just now we are not thinking about our future, we are thinking only about our present. So our future generations and even we may have to suffer.